Good job, mamas. Finish strong, babe. Good morning, y'all. It is 7:30. Workout is done. Waiting on Kim. She probably got another half a mile, a quarter of a mile left. I crushed it. Ran as hard as I could. I say crushed it, but that's all relative. Got a road trip going on tonight. Tomorrow, I'll be live streaming from the 5-star campus. I do have a meeting tonight for dinner. Shout out to my boy Lightwork. I'm gonna meet up with Coach Lightwork for dinner tonight. We both live in Georgia, so anytime I'm in the Atlanta area, I want to hit him up. So that'll be kind of cool. Probably do a video or two from dinner tonight. Just chopping it up, having a good time. Yeah, so Celtics won the title last night. Shout out to them. Yet again, another NBA Finals I didn't watch a single second of. I actually had no idea the game was on. I don't really pay attention to that league. It doesn't even interest me in the slightest. Like, I look at basketball players and I'm not enamored with the product on the court. I find it boring. It doesn't matter what it is. Morning. How you doing? Good, and you? Terrible. I got a lot of quit in me. Yeah, so I don't watch basketball unless it's college basketball. I might be intrigued by high school basketball for sure, but NBA? Nah. Dudes on workload balance, taking days off and crying about every call and non-call. Half the game it reminds me a lot of soccer. Obviously a little more scoring, but it's a fast pace back and forth. Things don't go your way. Superstar players can't be touched. Yeah, it reminds me of soccer. And I only watch soccer during the World Cup. I can't watch it any other time. I'm not in on it like that. So good morning, y'all. Workout's done for me. Just kind of trying to figure out if you guys got any questions for me, sports oriented. I am extremely tired. You guys know the deal. We put in 5 miles every day before you wake up. Kim's on the other side of the track over there with Ash. They're trying to catch up. Typically I lap them, but I'm not even that fleet of foot anymore. I have a terrible back, plantar fasciitis in my foot. I can't really stand for long periods of time. I have to sit at some point. Shout out to the Army. But I try not to find an excuse, push myself to my limits. I'm always reminded by this mantra I used to tell my own players when I was a football coach, and that's fight through pain, not through injury, right? So if it hurts, keep pushing. If you're injured, stop, get treatment, recover, got it. But if it just hurts, you got to fight through that. So I do that often. I'm in an immense amount of pain. I'm not injured. There's really nothing they can do to fix my problem. I'm missing spinal fluid in my lower vertebrae. And that's just from years of high impact workouts. Shout out to box jumps, rucking, a number of things you do in the Army that'll just break your back, and they don't care. They'll just pay you when you're done. So they just wear you out, and there's nothing left. They're like, all right, well. You know what's crazy is when I was in the military as a first sergeant, I'm in charge of over 100 people every day. You stand in front of that formation. You know you're mentally and physically broken. You know it. And they just still send you right out there to be in charge. Because you're so senior, because you know so much, because you're willing to push through the adversity and the pain. Right? I had a whole platoon full of people that were missing PT that morning. Let's say I had 30 people, and they're going through depression, PTSD, extreme anxiety, back pain, knee pain, elbow pain, neck pain, all kinds of pain. And so they're not going to do PT that morning. And instead, I'm going to give them all an excuse, go do profile PT, and then I'm going to lead a run of the 80 remaining people. And I'm dealing with everything they just described as I hear them. I'm dealing with depression, anxiety, pain in my knee, my back, my leg, my ankle. The only difference is I give a damn what you think, so I go out and lead. But I'm just as broken. And the minute you stop caring, the minute you stop giving a damn, there's really no recourse. Like, there's no way to come back from that. So the minute you stop caring about people's perception of you and your reputation, if you will, your notoriety, your level of responsibility, that's it. You're done. There's no more time to serve. And there'll be people, because that's the only motivation, right? The only motivation to keep people going, to keep people from leaving early every day, or to keep people on task. The only motivation is your report card or your evaluation report. The only motivation is your concern with your immediate supervisor's perception of you. The minute you stop caring about what your rater or senior rater think of you, the minute you stop caring about what your team leader, squad leader, platoon sergeant think of you, you need to go because you're ready to quit. And that happened to me. At one point, it happens to everybody. You just reach that culmination point. So I want you to think of it in a football context. Let's say you're on a football team and you just stop caring about what your position coach thinks of you. It doesn't even have to just be the head coach or the offensive coordinator, defense coordinator. It can be your positions coach. Let's say he tells you, we're going to do 10 sprints before we go home today. And you just look and just go, no, we're not. I'm not doing 10. It means you quit, right? But in the Army, it's a little different. When you quit mentally or physically, you still get paid. That's the craziest part. You still get paid because nobody in your immediate purview, typically when you're a senior ranking person, has any authority over your pay. Nobody can dock your pay. Even the general and the brigade commander and division commander, none of them guys can really dock your pay once you get to a certain rank. All they can do is write some type of administrative board. They can do DROG, derogatory statements, bad paper. You can get a GOMAR, General Officer Memorandum of Reprimand. None of that impacts your pay. What it impacts is your future levels of responsibility and your promotion. So when you finally quit on yourself, it's time to go. But I bring all this up because when I was at 18 years in the Army, they're telling me I'm the greatest thing. I'm number 5 on the Order of Merit list, the OML. I'm supposed to go to Sergeant's Major Academy. But I know I'm broken. I know mentally and physically I'm shot. But they're still telling me I should be in charge. They want to give me more levels of responsibility. They tell me to go to school. I had just finished my college degree. I had honestly reached my culmination point. I honestly reached that point where I didn't give a shit what anybody thought of me. And I can remember having those conversations with my boss and stuff. Like, hey, man, I'm not coming to work tomorrow. He's like, there's no way, bro. We have a command and staff meeting tomorrow. And I'm like, oh, that means nothing to me. Like, I don't care. I'm not going to be there. And they thought I was joking. I never went to another meeting. I never went to another day of work. And I knew that they couldn't do anything to me legally. So I was good. Well, my point is this. I started going to my VA appointments. I started going to my exit physical appointments, my retirement physicals. I started going to everything. Hey, is the position transfer portal series done for this offseason? Divine Obsidian, yeah, it probably is because I have to focus on the season as it is. So yeah, they're probably done. I apologize. I do them to fill in time during the off season, but we have other requirements. Thank you for asking. But what I was saying is as I went to all those appointments and I'm seeing all these doctors and they're writing me up. I remember the first doctor was like, hey, we need to do a CAT scan on your lower back, your foot. No, not a CAT scan, an MRI. And I'm like, okay. So I'm laying in this machine making all this damn noise for, I don't know, 30 minutes. And then they move me, and they move me, and they move me 30 minutes at a time. Just can't move. Checking my foot, my back. Eventually I get something called pulse surgery, where they do like shock waves through my foot to try to break up these internal cysts in my ankle. Anyways, it was pinching the nerves. My feet go numb when I run. So, long story short, they write me up and they go, hey man, you need to go see a therapist. We think you need some counseling. I'm like, yeah, I probably do. Let's go. So I start going to therapy. That therapist meets me. She's like, I need to see you twice a week. Not once every 3 months. We're not talking about on base at behavioral health. We're talking off base at a private entity, seeing a therapist Tuesday and Thursday every single week, like clockwork. She needs to see me twice a week. They're worried I'm, got a lot of things wrong with me. I'm like, cool. So start putting me on medication, start putting me on antidepressants, start just doing different combinations of meds and stuff. And the whole point I'm trying to make is nothing new happened to me. Nothing new happened to bring all that on. Like, all of that occurred, everything that they're trying to treat, everything that they're addressing, my back pain, my knee pain, my elbow pain, my foot pain, my mental depression or my anxiety or whatever they want to label things. All of that was from stuff that happened 8, 10, 12, 15 years in. Nothing had happened to me in the last 5 years. Nothing too bad. And still, that means I was 100% permanent and total. It's called PNT. I was 100% permanent and total for the last 5 years of my military career. I was 100% disabled the last 5 years of my military career. They didn't label me disabled. They didn't med board me. They let me finish my time as an active duty first sergeant. And I did that for 3 years. They let me retire as a first sergeant / master sergeant. They let me keep serving. They got people on active duty right now 100% disabled. And they've been that way for 7, 8 years. The difference is those individuals don't tap out. Those individuals are some of the toughest people you ever meet. And they don't physically or mentally tap out. So when you see somebody and they're like, yeah, I served, and you'd be like, well, how long you serve? And they're like 6, 8 years, 4 years, whatever it is. I always thank them for their service. But I can't relate to you. We're not on the same mental state. Because what I subjected myself to for 2 decades, knowing I was 100% disabled, is something that people can't understand. You can't relate. And I can't even articulate it, and I'm a man of many words. Because we go to work and we look at one another and we know we're quote unquote fucked up. We know we're messed up. And we're just like, yeah, embrace the suck, keep pushing forward, because that's the generation we came up in. Remember, we joined an army at war. Nobody can relate. There's nobody that I can talk to, outside of maybe a Vietnam veteran. There's nobody I can talk to who joined the army in the 80s or the 90s that can relate to what I'm talking about. I'm talking about we invaded Iraq 23 March 2003. I joined the army 8 days later. So you're in a military with an op tempo at war the whole time. The whole time. Until you retire, we're at war. Now the last 5 years, actually the last 10 years, I was in a state of bliss working at a facility where we're always on high alert, but we're not at war. Now, did we deploy? Yes. Did I find myself in foreign countries? Yes. But, I don't know, you just feel a little safer in those units because you're not in a big force comm unit. The first time I deployed, I was in force comm. That's not good. That's where all the bad stuff happens. And when you're at war, the Army will lower the standard for individuals to enlist. All of a sudden, they're allowing people with criminal records. They're allowing people with neck tattoos and face tattoos and hand tattoos. They're allowing a certain demographic to join the military that normally wouldn't. So all of a sudden, I can remember being a platoon sergeant, and all of a sudden my platoon is like guilty of crimes. I can remember 2007 through 2009. I had a murderer in my platoon. Yeah, a guy who shot and killed somebody. I had a lot of domestic violence, people stealing from the PX. You just have criminals. And that's just a microcosm of society. Like, let's say in a city of 40,000 people, how many criminals would you have, right? You need a police department. How many crimes would occur in a city of 40,000? Well, the same thing would happen in an organization or a division or a base that has 40,000. You're going to have that level of crime. You're going to have child molesters. Oh my God. We had one guy confess to his wife that he had been molesting the daughters for 3 years. So she called the cops. We have to arrest him. We go to the house to help pack it up. We're going to move her on base, get her to a shelter. Well, there's really nothing wrong with her. It's just the kids, right? So mom was cool. Mom was pretty. I'm helping them move into a new house. Hey, homie's going to jail. Hey, I start dating the mom. I didn't care. I start dating mom. I don't want to meet your daughters. You and me, we can meet off schedule. That's the type of environment you're in. You start assimilating and you start doing what other people are doing. And it's a terrible thing. I can remember you start drinking because everybody's drinking. People start smoking because everyone's smoking. It's just a bad kind of peer pressure environment. And you're an adult. And I'm not very political, so I don't need the FJB. Good luck. More power to you. I really don't concern myself with that aspect of life. I can tell you that being in the Army, I served under 4 different presidents, I think. Biden, Obama, Trump, Bush. Yeah, 4 presidents. For me, nothing really changed. The motivations might have changed. People's opinions at work might have changed here and there. But around 4 presidents, we still got raises every year. Everything was still the same. Yes, people got kicked out of the Army when Obama was president, but that's because we started trimming the fat and getting rid of the people that we lowered the standard to let them in. We had to get rid of them. I didn't really care. I didn't lose anybody of significance in my formation once the rules got a little tighter and once they started, getting rid of people. You are the president? Oh my goodness. That's concerning. But yes, I understand the situation right now with the economy and with the country. You might be an advocate pro a certain candidate versus another. I'm not really into that. I don't make content for that. I really don't care, man. I just do football. I just do me, really. I don't really worry about it. I'm making it. That's something I can say. Whoever the president is ain't stopping me. I'm succeeding. I'm going to be great no matter what. Like, I don't know, this last term, I've created more generational wealth in the last 4 years than I did my whole life. I was on paycheck to paycheck for at least 12 years of my adult life. And that was a rough go. Every month, bills are hitting. I got just enough to always pay my bills. Nothing going to collection. Not really getting into debt. I'm not one to mess around with credit cards. I was always good. But I didn't ever have like a big stack of cash or nothing. I didn't ever have money like that. I just, middle class, and I've been on a cruise, been to Hawaii, been to Vegas. I've done vacations and stuff, but it wasn't like I had money. I didn't have no money to let nobody borrow nothing like that. But now I'm so blessed, and so it doesn't matter who the president is. I'm all right. We failed as voters. Oh, do better, man. I don't know who we is. I didn't vote. I didn't fail. I didn't vote. I went to work. I don't fail. I don't stress it. You can't complain if you didn't vote. If you didn't vote, don't complain. I didn't vote, so I ain't complaining. If you failed because you voted for the wrong person, that's on you, man. I ain't got no time for that shit. Doing what? I don't know what you mean, doing what? Oh, how to make my money? Social media. Social media. Shout out to YouTube. Shout out to TikTok, Patreon, and Twitter. It's a blessing. I have a video just recently. I have a video I just showed in the first 6 months this year, and it's the off season. I'm not even in season. I made $180,000 in the first 6 months this year. So I'm on pace for 360, but it's going to be more because football season shit just goes, man. It's so beautiful. Football season's a good time to be alive. So we're going to be okay. It'll be nice. Going to be giving out my picks for college football. I have a ton of videos up on Patreon already, giving you guys futures bets. I just posted a free one last night. Yeah, I sell stuff. I sell, well, a membership. If you pay the membership, you pay $25 a month, you get access to all my premium videos, which are the videos you need to know how to gamble and what to bet on. It helps you make money. So people pay to make money. You can also buy my merch. Go to ricoknows.org. Got a bunch of merch for sale. Shout out to my dog and my girl. They're walking behind me. But yeah, everything's there. I've been doing all right. Obviously, I do the high school film reviews for the college students or the high school students trying to get to college. We got over 50 players scholarships this past off season. And so you can donate to the channel. You pay. I make a video. I do a film review on you. If I think you're good enough, I'll get you in touch with certain college coaches. I have direct access to probably about, I don't know, 30 or 40 college coaches. And I don't mean just college coaches. What I should say is 30 or 40 college teams at all the different levels. And then recruiting staffs, I probably have another 20 contacts for them. So I can get you to any school, whether it be a junior college, Division III, Division II, Division I, FCS, FBS. We can go out there. If I talk to the right people, I can get you in. If you're worth it, damn. I'm trying it out, maybe become a millionaire. You know, my gamblers, I don't have too many millionaires, I don't think. I think the guys that make a lot of money gambling, when it comes to like millionaires, I'm going to give you guys a tip when it comes to gambling. If you find somebody who bets on picks every single day, they're not a professional gambler. They can tell you that they want a bunch of money and they're doing this, they're not doing it right. When I do my assessment to my picks, it is once a week. It is after 3, 4, 5 days of research. I will then give you the picks for Saturday, that kind of deal. During the football season, I do give picks for every single weekday game, and we're right all the time. We do really well. Against the spread, I was 60% on over 400 games last year. But what I want to tell you is you got to take your time. So like a professional gambler, those guys, they bet maybe 3, 4 times a year. I've been talking to them in my DMs. They bet on like one sure thing every now and then. And when they bet big. So let's say they'll do a $50, $60, $70, $80,000 bet in one swing. They'll double it, and that's all they mess with. And then they'll just stop. So their bets are usually on a favorite. Every now and then they'll hit me up about an underdog, but it's maybe 3, 4 bets a year, and they make sure they hit on it, and then they're done. They're not the people who bet every single day. They're just addicted to gambling. They just need that hit every day. They'll be like, you know, hey Rico, man, give me a pick. What do we got to pick? We got to pick. Those people are never going to get rich. It's just the law of averages. They're never going to get there. So I do have some gamblers that bet like a couple $1,000s on every UFC fight card. But I am almost 100% sure they have a regular day job that enables them to do that. Like they're a doctor or an attorney, you know, stuff like that. Good morning. She's very friendly. She's very friendly. People are always so concerned about my dog. They think that they're going to get bit or something. They start freaking out. It's usually only black people. It's just the way they're raised, I guess. to be afraid of dogs. It's a cultural thing, which I don't understand, because I don't get it, man. I wasn't raised to hate dogs or be afraid of them. These guys just walk around, just be mad. Yeah, if you subscribed, appreciate it. Just remember, if you're on YouTube, you got to hit join, not just subscribe to the channel. You got to join the channel. If you're on Patreon, you got to join as well. Become an MVP. It's $25 a month. People are afraid of dogs. I don't understand that, man. Be afraid of a dog if it's like not on a leash. Be afraid of a dog if it's barking at you. Like my dog, she thinks you got a treat, bro. She wants to wag her tail and love you. You know? You done, babe? Okay. Good job. Morning. All right, we're gonna head to the car. I'm tired as hell too. I ran decent, babe. Not great, but I pushed myself. Were you proud of me? I can't hear you.
But I am. You did really good.
Thank you. Come on, mamas. We'll go this way. You got her bag?
Yeah.
You like that bag, huh? You're just so fashionable.
Sweat in my eyes.
What was that?
I said I have sweat in my eyes.
That doesn't matter. I said you're fashionable.
I was rubbing my eyes.
Well, no, I'm just saying you got a bag full for everything. I know you bought that bag.
I did not buy this bag.
I know you went to Ross or TJ Maxx,
From Aldi's, and
and it was near the register, and you were like, "Let me get a pack of gum in that bag." You got any of you guys have a girl who goes out there? What up, Gary Gill? Y'all don't have a girl who goes out and just impulse shops for no reason? That's my girl. My girl Kim does that. She be out there just shopping. She come home with random shit we don't need. She got so much stuff I can't even park in the garage no more. True story. Am I lying? I'm not lying. She got me parking outside now. That's, you know, I'm Mexican, bro. We don't do that. We don't have that kind of resources. White people, man, they acquire things. They just buy shit for one-time use. One-time use. They'll be like, oh, yeah, I need this. It'll be some special type of shit. You'll be like, yo, I don't need that. That's why my refrigerator door, you guys ought to see that shit. It got relish, sriracha sauce, mustard. I don't even eat this stuff. What's in the door, babe? Garlic, minced garlic. Yeah? Man, 3 things of mayonnaise. 3 different types of butter. I'm not joking. Whatever happened to that Betty Crockett butter, the big bucket, the gray one? That's all you need, right?
bad for you.
Now we got salted butter, whipped butter, butter sticks. We got, I'm telling you, man, it's the craziest shit I ever seen. Did you know dogs were actually released on Blackpool by police? EK, yes. Did you know that none of those people are at the park? That doesn't matter to a 20-year-old. Did you know that those people that they were released on are probably somewhere around 90 years old?